Just a quick one, guys, before we get into today's video. We do have a lot of Rangers t-shirts available on our website. Do browse the collection by going to either rfcclothing.com or going down into the link in the description. Let's get into today's video. And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Okay, so a different kind of video today. We're not going to be discussing the Rangers rebuild as such, as obviously there has been a lot of transfer news to update you on over the last sort of couple of days and weeks. However, we're going to be taking a look at our rivals. Cue obsessed comments down there below. Look, listen, the reason why we're going to be discussing Celtic's state of affairs, because it does actually correlate with Rangers. When you're in a two-team league and a team or your rival has something big happen to them after a successful period, and whilst Rangers are going into a rebuild, it does in fact have an effect on Rangers, and we're basically going to be discussing everything that is happening at the moment and what it could mean for Rangers going forward. Okay, so unless you have been living under a rock over the last sort of couple of days / weeks, there has been reports stating that Ange Postecoglou is very close to becoming the next Tottenham Hotspur manager, which makes for a very, very interesting viewing. Tottenham, obviously the first time we heard about Ange Postecoglou being linked with Tottenham was probably a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. However, he was always down at the bottom of the list. There was, I think, Nagelsmann was the main one they wanted, and then Arne Slot they made an approach for, but he decided to stay at Feyenoord, and all the rest of it. And basically, as time has gone on, all these sort of candidates have fell away, and now they have come to Ange Postecoglou with reports now stating over the last couple of days that he is the front runner for the job, and now even Sky Sports and even other reports are stating Tottenham on the verge of Ange Postecoglou appointment as Celtic begin replacement search. Basically, the report goes on to say Tottenham could unveil Ange Postecoglou as their new head coach as early as next week, with Celtic already said to be looking for his replacement, according to reports. The Australian boss takes charge of his final Celtic game, which is in the final against Inverness. We're not going to go into that as such. But look, what does this all mean and why does it affect Rangers? Well, obviously, Celtic and Rangers in the Scottish Premiership, there's only two teams that really win the league. And to be perfectly honest with you, when Ange Postecoglou was appointed as Celtic manager, a lot of people thought, as they said, Ange who? But, you know, as a Rangers fan, I can take a step back and go, you know what, he's done a fantastic job at Celtic and made them a really, really good force within Scotland. Not in Europe, but within Scotland. He's certainly dominated. Some of it to Rangers' fault as well, of not strengthening after they won 55. But look, Celtic, had a massive job on their hands when obviously they missed out on 10 in a row, and obviously Ange Postecoglou came in and almost like every signing he's ever made at Celtic is always slapped. It was a big job. We were expected to go 156, 57, which I do say is our fault for completely mucking it up, being 9 points clear at one point in the season. However, you can't say that Ange has not done a good job at Celtic. He's made them a very, very good team, and as I said, every single signing that he makes literally slaps. They all do fairly well, and in 2 years he's made them a really, really good force. However, we do have Michael Beale, and regardless of this, I did think, going under our rebuild and the players that we're signing, I do think we were going to be a match going into next season anyway, and I did think that we would probably be wrestling for the title and competing in all fronts in Europe, regardless of whether Ange Postecoglou stays at Celtic or not. However, as I said, this does give Rangers a slight boost. I don't really look at it as a boost too much, as it's their business, but it does. Of course, as I said, having such a stable manager for a little while, and him doing very, very well domestically and all the rest of it, and strengthening again and going forward again, now sticks Celtic into disarray. Yes, they go winning a treble. Fair play to them. Congratulations. But as I said, they're going to go into this season now, maybe next week, in the hunt for a new manager. And I do think they actually got really, really lucky that they managed to get Ange Postecoglou who actually did that. I don't think it would be the same case this time around. Please don't clip this for 2 years' time. I don't think that would be the case going forward, that really a manager that can come in and just completely wipe the floor with it. I'm trying to look at potential candidates that they go for. I've seen David Moyes being sort of linked, but I couldn't see David Moyes leaving West Ham in the Premier League after winning the Conference League and playing Europa League football. I just could never see that. So it would probably be a step down from Ange Postecoglou, certainly. And I do think Celtic will be weaker going into into next season if, obviously, Ange Postecoglou then goes. Again, I welcome Rangers going toe-to-toe with Ange Postecoglou Celtic. Of course I do, and I do think will be a match. Just to reiterate, I do think would be a match with Michael Beale going into next season regardless. But, as I said, you'd then be going into disarray into the summer transfer window, now scrambling around to find a new manager. As I said, does give Rangers a bit of a boost. We've had that 6-month period now with Michael Beale. It's looked really impressive. Bedding in, he's seen what sort of players he wants to see what signings he's got, and he goes into it. Remember, these are a lot of players that Celtic have been brought in for his system, and there has been signs of a bit of weakness towards the end of the campaign, Rangers winning games and stuff like that as well. So, as I said, it does cause disarray around Celtic, and if you're a Rangers fan, you'd be sitting there smiling a little bit. I'm not going to get carried away, for God's sakes, because remember what happened last time. We were guaranteed to win 56, 57, and that never quite worked out. So, as I said, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, but on a Rangers, in the Rangers camp, guys, if we're looking across the city there and they lose Ange Postecoglou, I do think that's good news. I do think that's good news for Rangers. I do think that's good news going into next season. But as I said, we just got to focus on our own garden, and this I'm not really going to be speaking too much about. Celtic losing out on their manager and all the rest of it, whatever. I'm not going to go down that every single video and discuss it. I'm just talking about it now and just addressing the elephant in the room, which we are going to see going through the summer. And as I said, it does give Rangers a slight advantage if it does happen. And now I say if it does happen. This is not confirmed news. This is not thingy. But I think when a Premier League club comes in, we've seen it with Brendan Rodgers, we've seen it with Steven Gerrard. When a Premier League club actually comes in and makes a formal approach, then usually 9 times out of 10, the manager is off skis. I know we all like to think that Rangers and Celtic are big, which they're bigger than most of the teams down in the English Premier League. However, money talks these days, and a lot of these managers want to go test themselves against the best and the best managers, and certainly the Premier League is that thing. And Spurs, actually, as a club, is probably the 6th biggest job you can get in England, and probably in the top 15 biggest or richest jobs that you can get in world football. So it's not something I would think that if he got approached that he would reject. I think you're just stupid, especially as a 57-year-old. He might not get that chance ever again, especially a top 6 club. So I think it's one of those cases, if Spurs make an approach, he's gone, which then obviously leaves Celtic in disarray going into the summer. So it could be an interesting state of play, but on a Rangers front, guys, yes, it does give Rangers a big boost going into the summer, of course, but we need to focus on our own garden. We need to make sure that we're fixing everything now. As I said, we're going under a rebuild and making sure everything's good, and then we can go into the season and start in the right way and just hope that Celtic are still in slight disarray, and maybe capitalise a bit. But hopefully, I don't want to get clipped in 2 years' time by saying this is another freaking set of dominance. Hopefully, Rangers can have a bit of a dominance, not just win 2 trophies, for God's sakes. I want a bit of dominance. I want trebles and stuff like that as well. And hopefully, we can do better in Europe. But yeah, guys, that's that. Guys, I just wanted to bring that to you. Please do let me know your thoughts on Ange Postecoglou potentially heading to Tottenham Hotspur. Does it benefit Rangers? As I said, do let me know your thoughts down there below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember, we do have Rangers t-shirts available on our website, so do browse the collection by going down into the link in the description or go to rfcclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.